6 colors was harder and more expensive to print. Everywhere we went to print, we had to print 6 colors. But we wanted it because we were bringing color to the world. Nobody expected color because in those days, color was a big analog design with I've been trained as an analog engineer. I've been a ham radio operator since 6th grade. But you took sine waves and you had amplifiers with op amps and feedback loops, and you had precision ways to generate the color you wanted. Mixtures of red, green, and blue. And I thought of this weird little way to do it in a little $1 chip that held 4 bits of data, one number, from 0 to 15. And oh my gosh, if I put the bits of that number on the wire at the right speed into the television, every American television would think it was color. And I would have 16 codes, and they would show up with 16 different colors. I knew that. I couldn't even define each one. There was no book ever written on engineering that said, this is how you generate color. It's just that it was a technique on the stuff that would work. It would have been illegal. I'm sure it wouldn't be allowed in today's Apple.
But the current logo is about Turing, right? It's what I read. It's like the logo.
The logo
is it about Turing? The story behind the current logo?
No.
No?
It's like what?
Turing.
No, nothing.
No,
that's a phony story. A lot of phony stories. Steve Jobs, but the Apple itself, we'll talk about the name and then we'll talk about, the Apple was designed and they put the colors in rainbow order. Rainbows go from red to blue, right? Right. If you look at our logo, it wasn't red to blue, it had green at the top, for example. Well, Steve Jobs took it home. And he did his little Steve Jobs, changing little bits, and he actually rearranged the colors out of rainbow order. But what he did was good, because it wound up with some darker colors near the bottom. It looked more bright. That's what he was good at. He made these little tiny changes that actually you have to say were always a little better. It's like he's the smartest person in the room in these tiny things. Now, the Apple name came from Steve Jobs, and for many decades, I never asked people where they got their ideas. Steve got a lot of ideas that he presented in our staff meetings, and then later on I found out who had told him that, where he got it from. He was good at recognizing which ideas were good and going with them. And I never asked him where he got the name Apple, and he lived on what he called an orchard in Oregon. It was a commune, and I assumed that they had apple orchards there. Well, on my last day on Dancing with the Stars, the doctor who had treated me for some injuries sat down next to me and he said his brother lived on that farm with Steve Jobs up in Oregon. And his brother's the one that went up to Steve Jobs and said, I got a great name for your company. So he goes further back. But you got to be imaginative to go with a name like that.
There is so many legends about the name, it's completely wrong. I have many legends about the name.
Made up afterwards.
Yeah, not connected, it's completely wrong.
Yeah, the beaten apple. The beaten apple, it's I read about Turing back then.
He even
the beaten apple, poison apple, something like this.
Nope, I guarantee no.
Steve, I wanted to ask you, are you working these days on any project or any
I don't have
new
time.
technology?
I don't have time to work as a direct engineer.